للقارئ الإمام أبو الفردوس باشا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
والليل إذا يغشى والنهار إذا تجلى وما خلق الذكر والأنثى إن سعيكم لشتى فأما من أعطى واتقى وصدق بالحسنى فسنيسره.
إن الحمد لله ونعمده ونستعينه ونستغفر الله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Brothers and sisters in Islam, wherever you are, this is Metro TV. This is our live telecast of 2009 Eid al-Fitr. The special prayer is here, and Muslims will be led by His Eminence, the National Chief Imam of Ghana, Dr. Sheikh Nuhu Sharubutu. We are here today to take a look at some of the significance of fasting, talking about Zakat al-Fitr and some other things. My name is Muhammad Amin Lamte. Even before I introduce my guest, let me walk you through some of the itinerary that we have for you today, and we now welcoming some of the chiefs and diplomatic corps who are arriving now, and very soon the National Chief Imam will join us. After that, Imam leads congregation in prayer, and then Imam delivers his sermon. After the sermon, arrival of His Excellency the President of the Republic and Evans Atamos, will see him coming, and then welcome address will be said by Alhaji Gado Mohammed, and Head of State will give his message to Muslims and Ghanaians and in its entirety. And the translation of the Head of State address will be done by Alhaji Al-Hassan Sule. And then short message will be coming from the National Peace Council. Remember what is happening in Baku and other part of the northern region. So we have National Peace Council will come with a statement on that regard. And then Chief Imam receives award. The National Chief Imam will be given an award, and then special prayer for the nation by His Eminence, the National Chief Imam, and then before Alhaji Musa Baba will then come up with his vote of thanks. So this is the itinerary that we have today. Once again, my name is Muhammad Amin Lamte. We come your way live from the Elwak Sports Stadium, where today it is a great day for Muslims. On my immediate left, I have with me one man who many actually believe that is one of the potential for Muslims in Ghana and beyond. He is a Quranic scientist. He is well known now on Metro TV as Sheikh Imam Abu Firdaus Basha. Sheikh, salam alaikum. Barakah Sallah. Next to him is one man who is currently at the University of Science and Technology, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, doing his masters, and he's also a prominent Islamic scholar in Ghana, as Sheikh Salman Muhammad Al Hassan. Salam alaikum. Barakah Sallah. MashaAllah. Well, let's take a look at the significance of Ramadan even before we get into other areas. Let me start out with you, Sheikh Basha. Let's look at Ramadan. We've heard about Ramadan. Our scholars have said it, but today is a great day. This is the turning point for the month. Now, tell us, what are some of the significance of Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen, nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. All in all, Ramadan is some sort of season that mankind are blessed with to purify themselves and to renew their faith and their humanity and the brotherhood that Almighty Allah have invested into them. And also it is a signal to tell you that they come, they go. It is about knocking doors to tell you that it can be you today or it can be you tomorrow, because we have Ramadan upon Ramadan that you miss a lot of people in your system. That could have been you, so it is a signal to tell you that you take good advantage of the situation when it comes around. And it's also a month of renewing your health system that I always say. Another thing is to also rehabilitate your spiritual gains that has spiritual input and output. The spiritual input is the favors and the blessings that you get from Almighty Allah, and the output is the goodness that what do you call it? The input one, exposes you to demonstrate against your fellow human beings. It doesn't matter whether they are Muslims
or non-Muslims.
Or non-Muslims.
So today is not only for Muslims.
Not at all.
Okay, let's look at the prayers that we actually gone through. We talk about the tahajjud. We talk about tarawih. Some Muslims started. A few weeks, they are nowhere to be found. I don't know whether there's any significance attached to tarawih and tahajjud.
You see, when you look at those, what do you call it, directives by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the sense of tarawih and tahajjud, it is to embody the Islamic system, to let you always use your fellow Muslim or your brother as an example. You understand? You as an example to activate. Because a normal Muslim is supposed to be what do you call it? Envious.
Of all.
Yes, of all. You envy people in doing the right thing, in doing good things, not to wish them lose the good will Almighty Allah have invested into them, but is to regenerate and re-energize your system, your faith system, so that you can make it all. Now you look at the least thing you will see as tarawih and tahajjud is not actually the signal of Ramadan. So if you shortfall in things that a chunk of Muslims are actively doing, then you better judge yourself. What I realize in our Muslim system is that there is some sort of network hitches.
What do you mean by network hitches?
Network hitches by really understanding what Islam itself is meant about. God has no benefits out of any Islamic practice that you come by. It is on your own interest. I always say that. Even in the prescription of 5 daily prayers has a relevance into your system.
Allah.
And I can guarantee you that anybody that you find praying regularly on time can live for more than 100 years, and he doesn't need to even attract himself into any gym
That
practices.
is the guarantee.
That is the guarantee I'm giving you. If you also invest your faith into doing things, let me set you an example.
Okay.
When you have a child, then you encourage the child to go to school and to perform when he is in school. The reflection is that you want him to be a responsible person in future. You want him to be self-independent. You want him to be self-sufficient. So, do you have to come around explaining to your child, because I want you to become a president, because then that means there is some sort of percentage of what do you call it, indecency and stubbornness from the child. You always tell him, go to school, you encourage him and do things that will get him through. But you don't need to explain into details why you really want him. But at the end of the day, he is the first beneficiary of the outcome of the education.
So are you saying that Muslims actually fail to understand the relevance of tarawih and tahajjud?
Not necessarily, but even ibadah in general.
Ibadah in general.
Ibadah in general.
But who would you blame here? Won't you blame it on the ulama?
Well, partially, I think we have some shortfalls. In the way, in the manner we deliver our messages, or the sort of strategy that we lay down the religious teachings.
So what kind of strategy do we need now? Maybe when we present our sermons on Fridays, when we preach, do you think we need to come up with a new format of delivering our messages?
You see, when you look at our Islamic system, we always focus on our sermons are always focusing on you go to hell, you go to heaven. Forgetting that you have a life to live. You get a point?
No.
Because you can even not go to heaven until you die. And until you die, you have a long way to go. So how will you, move on with your life until you even get there? So we have to embody our good life, our good will into religion. Because religion is nothing but to let you live good, but to let you live better. And the result of the tolerance that you have put into Allah is the reward of Jannah that you apparently
But
will
with
have.
moderation.
Yeah.
But with just about the fasting of Ramadan, we are very fortunate we're in this month, and it is our belief and hope that Allah has forgiven us our sins, and definitely we will be in paradise one day. But Sheikh, now let's look at them briefly about the Zakat al-Fitr. There is many are yet to understand the dichotomy between zakat al-fitr and other zakats. So briefly, could you please define what is zakat al-fitr for us?
Zakat al-fitr, it is a charity that confirms, or generosity that confirms the goodwill of Ramadan. And then it is also some sort of making people the less, privileged, independent on a day that everyone has to be looking upon the Almighty Allah. God refuses to allow one of his slaves knocking the doors of his fellow human being seeking blessings or seeking favors. So he enforced into you people who can afford it a little to inject some happiness, to invest some happiness into families that could have been you in certain particular situation that they are facing. So I will say that it is also a formation, okay, of unity and a demonstration of a successful workshop, as Sheikh Salman just mentioned,
Absolutely.
that you have gone through. It tells you that when you are able to have the heart, you know, to help out or to obey that sort of obligation prescribed by Almighty Allah, it is also telling you that it's a beginning of goodness.
So you have some benefits.
You have,
what are they?
Yes, one of the benefits is that you reform unity among your brotherhood. Then you also gain some love from people that you have done the goodness to.
Okay.
And then also you have made people's family, okay, you have put some hope into your fellow human beings that reflects, okay, the completion of blessings, the completion of the mercy Almighty Allah can have on you as a human being throughout the year until you approach another zakat.
Sheikh Salman, before we leave this issue of the zakat al-fitr, and I know most of the Muslims who have companies in Ghana sometimes to give out these things to their workers or their staff as part of their zakat al-fitr. Some also don't do. They believe that you could see that this is a Muslim working in a company. He hasn't got it, he needs something badly. But the employer will say, oh, no, let me take it out to people out there. Do you think this is right, Islamically?
Well, I would say it's not right. But at the same time, because Allah have, just like Sheikh Salman said, it is an obligatory thing that a Muslim has to do.
Okay.
But you have a choice, you know, to decide to whom you are giving your zakat al-fitr to. But it will be nice, it will be good, you know, to really look at people around you before you go afar. But sometimes you might have your reservations of reasons that cause you not giving. For instance, if you have a worker who is poor and he has been engaged in stealing you one way or the other, and you feel like he's not that much faithful.
Is it not because you don't give him, that is why he steals?
Well, if you are giving him according to the services, equivalent to the services that he gives you, I will not judge it. You are not giving him what he needs to take. Because, even in family, handling Islamically. They say, وَالْوَالِدَاتُ يُرْضِعْنَ أَوْلَادَهُنَّ حَوْلَيْنِ كَامِلَيْنِ لِمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يُتِمَّ الرَّضَاعَ وَعَلَى الْمَوْلُودِ لَهُ رِزْقُهُنَّ وَكِسْوَتُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. So it's like you are doing, you don't give him less than what he deserves to take. But we have a system that guides what an employee is entitled to take upon a services that he gives you. And then add to the definition of Sheikh Salman, I would say that because of today, the technical aspect of our weighing of food stuff and stuff, you know, you can get the 4 mud into 2.40 kilograms.
Okay.
Because most of the time, because of language barriers, people might not get what the aloka or sa it forms into the mud, and what so the 4 mud is coming into a 2.40 kilograms.
Okay,
so I would say that a Muslim will not be a sinner. Okay, he will not be a sinner by choosing whom he should give his zakat to. But it would have been generous on his part to also, even if there are shortfalls around him for a reason he could know better. I think that he should be always at the upper side do.
So you give it to the needy.
To give it to the needy, provided the person is in need. And for the wrongdoing, you can't take him out of the circle of Islam. He's still a Muslim, and God mercy is still showering on him.
Okay.
He does it. It will be good on your part to give it to your surroundings than to take it far.
Okay, great. So that is about Sheikh. Now, some are saying that in Ghana, the major problem that we have is about Muslims giving holiday. So we have to transmit the information about the prayer on time to government, so that government will prepare for the holiday. So because we know that it is unpredictable, but we make it predictable. So would you blame it on the issue of politics or whatever?
Well, I think Sheikh Salman have said it all. He said that, are we doing it legalistically, or we base it on culture? As Muslim, you can be a prophet. You have to direct religion according to the will of Allah. When you say that you are a Muslim, the meaning of being a Muslim is that you are ready, you are committed, you are submitted entirely to do the will of Almighty Allah. You have no contribution. It is not a Congress, it is not a parliament. We have a certain constitution that is set down by our Creator that we have to follow. Ideas doesn't go into religion, views doesn't go into religion. Allowances is only what God and His Prophet allows us in things that are minor things to handle. Because religion is not given to people just like that. It's given to responsible people. It's given to resource people. It's given to people who can think beyond necessary.
Are you saying we don't have thinkers in Ghana?
Well, I will not say entirely we don't have thinkers in Ghana, but what I'm saying is that do we operate the thinking? Do we really take it as a responsibility or an obligation that we have nothing to do about? For instance, if Quran prescribes how to go by looking for the moon, and then it prescribes when to start and when to break, with allowances that surrounding it. Ulamas have no choice. They have they don't have their own. Maybe what the aspect of what Sheikh Salman wanted to say, that some of our leaders, should come together. They are not coming together to share personal views. They are coming to base it upon the constitution that is set upon us.
So you sometimes blame it on fragmentation. Maybe the division that we have could be the cause of this problem.
So let me set you an example. I don't know what sort of politics, even in American politics, how attractive will that politics be to the extent of diverting us to pray Juma at the Asr time or Maghrib time? What sort of politics will that be? The issue is that we live with our brothers and sisters who don't belong to our religion. It is our responsibility to let them know what our religion is all about.
Okay, I see.
The allowances that we have and the no-go areas. We don't need to put it upon the politicians or the politics, because today, if Eid prayer is set to pray at 2 o'clock midnight, if the president is to come, will come. If he's not coming, that will not prevent our prayers.
So we should try and silence
So
politics.
we should try to put that one aside. Government have brought in the holidays in doing us a favor and doing itself
A favor.
a favor. It is a balanced favor here, because Muslims in Ghana has a role to play in the growth of our economy, in the forward going of our country. So if I say that, yes, we say thank you very much for the opportunity given to us, but it is not entirely a charity aspect of doing it.
We are part of Ghana.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that if you are giving me a food, no matter delicious the food is, please don't put it in a chamber pot for me to eat.
Really?
You are then telling me something else. Put it in a right bowl. A bowl that can go along with the sort of food you are giving me. So if you are giving me a holidays, it has to do me entire favor.
But now, I don't think we have to begrudge government here.
Yeah.
As I said with Sheikh Salman, they have to hear from us before they come out with their
That's
statement.
exactly what I'm saying. We have to tell government, look, your holiday of Monday, okay, your holiday of Monday, we thank you very much for that opportunity, but Tuesday will be preferably better. Friday will be preferably better, because that is what is going as the good. Because in doing this, we sort of blackmailing Islam, okay, from the outer atmosphere of it. People prayed yesterday, just like Sheikh Salman said. I also prayed yesterday. But the point is that people that are not in the circle of Islam will interpret that sort of act in some sort of disunity, and that belittles the face of Islam in the eyes of our brothers and sisters who don't belong here.
That's very true. That's very true.
Actually, that is not the way it is. For instance, I prayed yesterday, he prayed yesterday. Today, we are at the platform of our grandfather, the chief imam, to grace whatever he is going to be doing. So that means there is no disunity here, or else he wouldn't have come here. I wouldn't have been here. But what we are saying is that people should do the right thing.
At the right time.
You can never, for any reason, blame a Togolese, okay, that of a constitution or a clause of a constitution that is for Republic of Ghana. At any point of time, when somebody is caught in a sin, for instance, maybe I have always an example that I said, and Sheikh Salman is aware of some of the cultures. In Arab world, when you want to signal respect, okay, respect and what you call absolute respect to somebody who is an elderly person or an older person,
Listen.
You wipe his beard.
You wipe his
Yes,
beard?
and kiss his forehead.
Yeah, if you dare do that
God
here.
save you. God save you. Before you explain yourself, I wonder where will you be?
In Ghana.
You will not even have a space to be buried.
But in the Arab world.
In the Arab world, that is the utmost respect you can give to people. Here, we go down.
I see this when our grandfather, the father of Al-Haji Fadi, Fatah and Shauki and Talal died, when we went for the funeral. I really experienced this when they met, and you saw them doing what you were saying.
Exactly.
But if you dare do that here in Ghana,
God
you are in
save
trouble.
God save
So
you.
what is our way of greetings?
Yes, so our way of greetings, which is partly a cultural aspect, which I as a person, I would say that it's my personal view, and then also I'm not basing it I'm not making it so personal, because I base it also on some sort of contributions by our great ulamas in Saudi. That our formula of doing it, okay, is not entirely against Islam. We go down to signal the utmost respect for the elderly people.
Okay.
Now, the ulamas over there who really can look around to compromise with situations, some of the allowances that Islam can give to mankind is that when you have an elderly person, be it your father, your uncle, whatever, an old man, a great man, and he is not worried if you couldn't do that. If you don't do that, it doesn't matter. You have your sheikh, okay, like his eminent chief imam, for instance. He doesn't bother whether you are going down or you are standing or you are rukuing or whatever. As a signal of respect, he feels that what is in your heart is most important than whatever demonstrations that you put across. You don't need to do that. Okay. But if you think, okay, it will paint you, it will put you in a certain picture, okay, that possibly you might not have an access to go around and explain yourself, okay, then you better go by the way people are going. Your intention is what matters to God, okay, not how you do it and whatever. But if you don't do it with people who are not worried about it, who will not blame you for it, who will not paint you with disrespect, because it is not good too on your side of it. You don't leave this in this world alone. Okay, and let me tell you something. The contributory factor to human beings being so scared of going to the grave is because they are going there alone.
Are you sure?
It's one of the serious factors.
That is another topic that we'll be having time. There are many people who are afraid of going to the grave because they are going there alone. And I'm looking forward to see a day when two people will be buried in the same grave. I think that is un-Islamic. You're still live on Metro TV, the live telecast of Eid 2009, where His Eminent, the National Chief Imam of Ghana, Dr. Sheikh Nuhu Shaributu. We thank Muslim wherever you are. On behalf of the Chief Executive Officer of Metro TV, Basha, even before that, let me just read a piece of the admonishment and exhortation of the National Chief Imam, even before he comes up with the sermon. He says, let us remember that Allah the Most High has chosen us as His blessed servant, those who are humble, peace-loving, those who are dedicated to worship by night prostrating, protections and lovers of love, those who constantly proclaim the unity of Allah, the repentant and the faithful, those who eschew immorality, including bearing false witness, and those whose hearts are permeable to the divine words of Allah. They are those who say in their supplication, "O our Lord, grant us in our wives and offspring the joy of our eyes, and make us guides to those who are God-fearing. These shall be rewarded with high places in the paradise, because they were patient, and shall be met therein with great things and salutations, and they will abide therein forever. What an excellent resting place and abode." I hope, Sheikh, you heard it. So what is the significance of the ceremony? Because many Muslims, after taking part in the prayer, when the Imam finishes the rakats, you see them going away. So I don't know, do we have any significance to attach to the sermon?
Before even I begin with this, let me touch the finishing of my brother
Okay.
Sheikh Salman. He said, when you close your deal, your assignment of Ramadan by coming out to grace this great day, you have gotten it all. And then you see, sometimes we understand Islam easily when we use ourselves to set an example. This is a day that Almighty Allah is, being very proud of Himself upon the natural pride that He has already, telling His other creatures, "This is my people." Because I always signal it to one thing. When Almighty Allah informed, it is not that particular time He took the decision, because He know it already before any other time, that there will be the time of a time frame that He is going to create mankind. And this is how the structure and everything is going to look like. But angels did not agree to the idea. They did not see that it was a good idea for human creature. Okay, and it is all about they can make it. They will give so much trouble. Okay, so today, if God have given you an allowance to come around and repent for the troubles, for the shortfalls, for the sins, have it for free, then it is also a day to tell them, you say they can make it, they have done it. They have got it all.
So God is proud of mankind.
God is proud of mankind at that day. That's why when the distance you go to come to Eid, the more rewarded you are. The more rewarded you will be.
So it's better you leave your car home and walk.
It's better you leave your car home and walk and signal God's glory and praises as you are moving along. And that's why also it is not meant to be performed in mosques. It is advisable to put it in spaces, unless in a certain conditions that you can get that allowance to look at that. So what does that tell you? Because a day, a night, which is the ending of Ramadan, just like Sheikh Salman said, it is not part of Shawwal, it's Ramadan, the last day of Ramadan. God, the structure is already there. The malaikas, the angels, they are running around, decorating the heavens.
So are you saying the angels are not in today?
I'm still coming. What I'm saying is that they come a day before the Eid day.
Oh, I see.
Designing, decorating, rehabilitating, okay, refurbishing the heavens and the.
I'm making a good point here.
Yeah.
Yesterday some prayed.
Yeah.
So if really some prayed yesterday, it means that the decoration took place day before yesterday.
A day before yesterday. Because
so what about those who are praying here? Are you saying the angels will return again yesterday to redecorate?
Wherever God praises are encountered, angels are present.
Okay.
But as to it would look the same as the
that cannot be defined.
Sheikh Salman have finished it.
Okay.
He said we have one Eid al-Fitr and then one first Shawwal. We don't have double first Shawwal. We have first and we go to second.
Okay.
So as to angels are coming, I can guarantee you that they are coming.
They are coming.
But they are coming as second Shawwal, not first Shawwal.
Okay. Now the National Chief Imam is coming, and so very soon the prayer will take place. And when the prayer takes place, and Sheikh Salman and Sheikh Basha and myself prayed yesterday. So we will try and pass some comment as the prayer is ongoing. And some of you who are not Muslims, we will let you understand the significance of prostration, ruku, and what have you. But Sheikh Salman, let me just come to Sheikh Basha. I was asking the question of the significance of sermon. Some Muslim will want to leave just after the prayer.
Yeah, okay.
Is that Islamic?
It is not Islamic at all. Because if you shot by 1 foot off a target, you are not there. ما لا يتم الواجب إلا به فهو واجب. Whatever completes, okay, a performance or a duty that you shortfall of getting it through, then you are not there. It's just like when these athletes, they go around and then you are just 1 foot to the finishing line, and then you sit down waiting or resting. Somebody comes to pass by, he got it, and you are.
So after prayer, you have to wait.
After prayer, you have to wait, because the essence is that it has to be addressing the issues of the day.
I see.
And that is embodied into getting everything as a package. Eid al-Fitr is about a package. And it starts by performing the Zakat al-Fitr, coming to
pray.
do the prayers, and then also have time to listen to the sermons. Okay? Because that addresses how you can take care of yourself until the next Ramadan, if God willing, that you have a long life.
Okay, viewers, you're still live on Metro TV, and the exclusive live coverage of 2009 Eid al-Fitr. We are here, and by the kind courtesy of Metro TV, you're watching this live from the Elwak Sports Stadium. Very soon, the prayer will begin. His Eminent, the National Chief Imam, Dr. Shaklu Sharbutu, is here with us. And as I said, along the way, with my resource persons, some of you who are not Muslims will give you some of the significance, the nitty-gritty of the prayer, and what Muslims would have to say when they go on prostration or ruku. We will take you through that. But you're still live on Metro TV. Once again, on behalf of the Chief Executive Officer of Metro TV, Alhaji Talal Fatah, his Deputy Alhaji Aruna, and Fadi Fatah, Shoki Fatah, and other Metro staff, and the workers, we're saying Baraka Rasallah to you, or wherever you are, especially our wonderful sponsors, those who have invested money in Metro TV, those who have given us money for adverts, for commercials and what have you. We thank you so much for your effort. We are most grateful. All the departments at Metro TV, we say thank you so much for the support given to the man in charge of Metro TV, Alhaji Talal Fatah. Now, Sheikh, one important aspect of the Ramadan that Ghanaians, I don't know, they seem to be very lethargic, very sluggish. But when I read it on the net, when you go to Pakistan, you go to Saudi Arabia, you go to other Arab countries, what they normally do is that after the prayer, you see them going to house, embracing each other, expressing Allah's whatever. But it looks like Ghana, we don't do that. I don't know. Or is it not part of our culture?
It all comes back to what Sheikh Salman said.
Sheikh, let me hold you. I'll get back to you. Now the National Chief Imam, as you can see in your shot, and it's now moving to the position where he is going to stand and lead the prayer. And very soon we will start with the prayer. And I'll get back to Sheikh Basha very soon. But it's still live on Metro TV. We are at the Elwak Sports Stadium for the Eid 2009 Eid al-Fitr. Ramadan started a couple of days ago. 30 days of commitment, 30 days of prayers, 30 days of supplication. And today, Ghanaians are celebrating this day. You heard from my resource persons the significance of Eid al-Fitr, significance of the prayer, significance of the sermon, and the significance of Zakat al-Fitr. So we are here today. We are very proud as Muslims, and it is our belief and hope that Allah will forgive us. Allah will please with us and then forgive us our sins.